Ranking the top 10 NBA players of each position as we head into the 2021 season, we're going to start with the centers because I think that's the easiest. There's a pretty clear gap between most of these guys. Number 10, Jonas Valanciunas, really had a revival in his career since he got traded to Memphis. Number 9, Christian Wood, another guy that's improved tremendously throughout his career. Number 8, Clint Capella, phenomenal defender, rebounder, shot blocker, he's a stud. Number 7, Nikola Vucevic. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA. Number 6, DeAndre Ayton. This young dude is going to be a force in the league for a while. Number 5, Bam Adebayo. He can just do it all. Score, shoot, pass, rebound, defend, whatever you need. Number 4, Karl Anthony Towns. At one point, I had him as the best center in the league, so he's fallen off a little bit, but he's still a really good player. Number 3, Rudy Gobert. He's probably the best defender in the league, and he just really changes games. Number 2, Joel Embiid, a really well-rounded player. He can just do everything you need on the court. He's an absolute monster and really fun to watch. And number 1, I personally don't think there's any debate for anyone else here. It's got to be Nikola Jokic, one of the best players in the NBA, obviously the reigning MVP, can do literally everything you need on the court. He's a magician and so fun to watch. Here's the power forwards, and I already know there's going to be some controversy with this one. Number 10, Draymond Green. As the Warriors have fallen off a little bit, so has he, but he's still a really good, well-rounded player. Number 9, Kristaps Porzingis. Injuries have really derailed his career, but he's still solid. Number 8, Tobias Harris. At this point in his career, we know what he is. Not a guy that's really going to be a superstar, but he's just a really good player. Number 7, Pascal Siakam. His career took off after the Raptors finals run, and he's just a really nice player. And I think there's a huge gap between those guys I just mentioned and the top 6. Number 6, Domantas Sabonis, one of the most well-rounded bigs in the league. He can do it all. Score, pass, rebound, defend, you name it, he can do it. Number 5, Julius Randle, another really well-rounded guy whose career has taken off since he arrived in New York. Number 4, Zion Williamson. This is my most controversial NBA hot take, but I think if injuries aren't a problem, Zion could be a top 5 player of all time, but as we've seen so far in his career, injuries have been a problem. Number 3, Anthony Davis. Not just one of the best big men in the league, but one of the best players in the league. Number 2 is where it got really tough. I went with Giannis. Obviously just won a championship and arguably one of the best players in the NBA, no denying that. And number 1, I went with Kevin Durant. If you're wondering why he's not in the small forward list, it's because the majority of last season and so far this season, he started at the power forward spot, so that's why he's here. But he's an absolute stud, one of the best players in the NBA, arguably the best scorer in NBA history, and he's still doing it this far into his career. Here's the small forwards, and I should also clarify for this ranking, I'm considering every player as if they were healthy, so there'll be some guys in here that aren't currently playing. Number 10, Gordon Hayward, been a really solid player throughout his career, and the move to Charlotte has been really good for him. Number 9, DeMar DeRozan, just an absolute bucket getter who has been doing this for years. Number 8, Michael Porter Jr., probably by the end of this season, he'll be a lot higher on this list, and I personally think that later in his career, he can be a top 5 NBA player. Number 7, Brandon Ingram, a guy who just really saw his career explode when he got moved to New Orleans. Number 6, Chris Middleton. He is the perfect sidekick for Giannis in Milwaukee. Number 5, Jimmy Butler. A really well-rounded player, can score, rebound, pass, and defend all at a high level. Number 4, Paul George. Been a stud for a while now, and I think he's going to explode this season while Kawhi is sidelined. Number 3, Jason Tatum. Another one of my NBA hot takes, but I think this dude is going to be the best player in the NBA at some point in the next few years. Number 2, Kawhi Leonard. Obviously going to be out for most of this season, but we know what he's all about. Dude is a monster, one of the best players in the NBA. And number 1, I'm still going to give it to LeBron, although I think it could very well change by the end of this season, but for right now at the start of the year, I'm going to give it to him. Obviously, we know all about him. He's an absolute legend. Here's the shooting guards. Number 10, Colin Sexton. Super exciting young player and so much fun to watch. Number 9, CJ McCollum, a guy who's had just a really nice NBA career playing alongside Dame. Number 8, Terry Rozier. This guy's really blossomed during his time in Charlotte as their primary scoring option. Number 7, Klay Thompson. Obviously would be a little higher if I knew what he was going to be coming back from his injury, but he's still one of the best shooting guards in the league. And this is where it got really tough. Number 6, I went with Jaylen Brown, one of the most exciting young players in the NBA with a ton of potential. Number 5, Zach LaVine. The high flyer is just an absolute bucket getter. I could see you flipping he and Brown. I could go either way on that one. Number 4, Donovan Mitchell. This young guy is absolutely electric and has really revived the Utah franchise. Number 3, Devin Booker, another bucket getter who I could see winning a scoring title at some point in the near future. Number 2, Bradley Beal, another just incredible scorer. We've seen him average over 30 a game. And number 1, an absolute no-brainer, James Harden. He's a stud, one of the best players in the NBA, easily the best shooting guard. Here's the point guards, and there is so much talent in this group. Number 10, LaMelo Ball. Dude is box office, must-see TV every night, and I think he'll be much higher on this list by the end of the season. Number 9, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a really well-rounded player who's leading the Thunder. Number 8, Ja Morant, another electrifying young player that's a future superstar. Number 7, De'Aaron Fox. This dude has been quietly playing out of his mind the past couple years in Sacramento. Number 6, Russell Westbrook. Definitely going to take a step back this year with his new teammates, but he's still one of the best point guards in the league. He can do it all, a walking triple-double. Number 5, Trae Young. A really special talent, can shoot the lights out, one of the most fun players in the league to watch. Number 4, Kyrie Irving. Obviously not playing at this point, but when he does play, he is special. Number 3, Damian Lillard. One of the best scorers in the NBA and arguably the most clutch player in NBA history. Number 2, Luka Doncic, another walking triple-double who does everything you need on the floor, and another guy who I think at some point in his career we will say is the best player in the NBA. And number 1, the best point guard in the league, I gotta go with Steph. His shooting ability forces opponents to drastically alter their game plan to try and stop him. He's an absolutely electric player, so fun to watch.